Hi, what's up guys, masterscreed here and welcome back to yet another video. In this video, we'll be continuing our speedrun, Blitz Speedrun to 2000. I think right now we're currently 1000 rated and I'm hoping in the next 2-3 weeks we can get to 2000. Now, that being said, the climb is getting harder, opponents are getting a lot stronger. So it'll be very interesting to see what type of chess we get in the next couple of games. Again, if you're new, be sure to subscribe. There's a lot you could probably learn from this channel, from openings, theory, middle game, and end game theory. So that being said, let's not delay and let's get straight into the first game. We have our first opponents. Okay, now let's play the birds opening. This is an opening I've been learning recently, and let's see how this 1000 will play against it. Let's just make the screen slightly bigger. Is it still showing in the... Yeah, okay. Just checking it's correct on the recording monitor. Now we go e3, and we've got to play a bit fast. I always have this habit of playing slow. And where's it going to go? Let's go b3. Just checking, is it still recording? Yeah. I've had a couple of instances recently where like I'll be recording footage and then find out that I haven't pressed the recording button. So that does tend to happen. Now, we could probably take this knight. Okay, he plays bishop d7, so that's a good move. Now, taking here is not a good idea because we just give him a bishop here. If the bishop wasn't on d7, then I would have taken in the hopes of getting him doubled pawns. Now, because that's not possible right now, definitely not something I want to do. So let's keep our bishop here. And let me try to play fast. I feel like I'm rambling a bit too much again. Knight c3, knight a4 make a lot of sense. Okay, never mind. Yeah, I think we can still go knight c3. If he takes, we could take back with the bishop and we're fine. Yeah. Now he has the castle. Otherwise, we'll capture on g7. Okay, he goes rook g8. Interesting. Now let's move our king away from this x-ray and the x-ray from the rook. And I think we should be okay. Now, that being said, let's go queen e1, maybe queen e3. All right, never mind. He literally shifts to the other end of the board. Now we've got to change our plans slightly. Let's go. Let me think about this actually. Okay. Let's go this way. Okay, so he's starting some sort of storm eventually. Let's go. Let's go here. I want to slow everything down in the center. Let's give him as little avenues as possible. Now let's go here. And we're preparing this push. Now we've got to play a bit faster. I'm going too slow. I'm like a minute behind on the clock. We can actually ignore this move, I think. Or we can just advance, give him double pawns. I think that's fine. Or we can push our own plan, which looks more enticing. Let's go there. He takes, we take back. If he doesn't take, we break through his king side. Or we try to anyway. Now, if the knight moves, then we have this retreat and we keep this line slightly closed because that's pretty much the only entrance he has to our castle. So let's see what he decides here. Okay, he retreats with a knight as expected. Now let's advance with our bishop. Sorry, our knight. Next move that comes to mind is bishop b4. Okay, takes that. Interesting. Now I think we can take. Yeah, let's take with a rook. I like that. Let's see what he does. I wanted to take with a pawn, but that weakens the d4 pawn. And I don't like that right now. Here, let's smash open c6. Takes, and we don't have to take the bishop yet. We do not have to take the bishop yet. Let's go bishop b4. Ask questions of the queen. And had it not been for this checkmate, we would have had a fork. But unfortunately, we have to deal with checkmate first. But I think, let's see, that takes. Okay, I think we don't need to rush that move. Let's go queen f2. Let's go queen f2. 2 minutes on the clock, so we've got to play quick. I think we have a slightly better position. Let's see. He blunders a fork, and I think it's game over after this. Sorry, blunders a fork. Can't even draw arrows. And the knight is going to win the rook in the next move. Always remember when you're attacking, be sure to not forget about your opponent's plan. I used to have that bad habit of just focusing on attacking and then you blunder mate in one. So you got to know when to attack, when it's your turn to attack, and when it's your turn to defend. That being said, I think c4 now looks very strong. Yeah, let's break with c4. And we want to open the c file because the king, as you can see, is on the c file. So if we can get that open as fast as possible, that will be excellent. Okay, he kind of does our bidding for us. Rook g6 doesn't do anything. Now we take. I don't care what he takes back with. The fact that we've opened the c file is all we need. Let's go for a check. He goes there. Okay. Now I think we have this. No. The bishop spoils the party. What else can we play though? Let me think about this. Don't have too much time to think as well. Okay, let's do this. Because there's a lot of threats here with this move. Let's do that. Okay, can take. No problemo. He goes there with a queen. Okay. Now the bishop is hanging. Bishop is hanging. So let's go here. And here we can take afterwards with the rook. Now this rook is actually really annoying now. And I don't like its placement. So we're going to have to find a solution for that. Let's go here. He wants to invade in the back rank. We have that covered, luckily. Okay, he wants to take the pawn. Never mind. Let's go here. I feel like this is a good move. Yeah, let's go here. Our queen is perfectly placed to defend everything, and he won't really have much time to get his pieces to there. Now I need to play fast, so I'm gonna keep quiet. Let's go here. Nothing crazy. Okay, we can check him now. Now it's our turn to attack. And we can invade. Am I blundering anything? No, I'm not. Okay, let's go here. Maybe I was blundering something there. We may have to... Okay, have I blundered that attack on the G pawn? Okay, yeah, I have. Snap. We're in trouble now. Because he has made in one. So I think we have to sack the rook. Unless I play... Yeah, we have to sack the rook here, guys. We might lose this one. First loss. He'll have to take with a... Okay, takes with a rook. What? Okay. Now here we can take... Yeah, we can take here. We have this. And hopefully we can get some sort of draw. We're losing there, and then he kind of gave us a lifeline. Okay, let's go there. Check. Now I'm trying to find the winning solution. Check. Yeah, I think looks like a draw. Am I not seeing something? Okay, now we have this. We're not going for draw, guys. We want to win. And we may have the win in the next move. Okay, yeah, I think that was the only move. Check. Anyway, he moves, he blunders the queen. And we've won this one by the skin of our teeth. That's even a phrase. Check. Now it's just a simple win. Okay, I think staircase method. Sorry, blundered down. I think staircase works, right? And we have checkmate. All right, very weird game because we were virtually losing in one of the moves, and then we were losing at some stage, and he just missed a simple trade. So yeah, this stage I blundered the fact that the G pawn next to the king was very weak. So my queen should not have been anywhere near the king, the other opponent's king. And I think, hey, he could have taken with a pawn and he would have been winning. Though I guess there's this and potentially a draw later once the queen moved. So I think we got away with this one, actually. We got away with this one. Check. And then, yeah, we had this. This is a double attack hitting the queen. And then, hopefully, checkmate in the next move. Check, deflects the king away. All the queen away, sorry. The rest was simple conversion. Okay. All right, let's go to game number 2. All right, our opponent now is on 1100, so we are going up the ranks quite quickly. What opening should we play? I'm tempted to do Scandinavian. Yeah, let's do Scandinavian. Okay. Now, do I remember the theory for this? I literally studied this about 4 weeks ago. What's the theory? Am I supposed to take the pawn? Yeah, I think you take the e pawn. How did I forget this? Snap. Okay. Yeah, I completely forgot this. I think you take the pawn. Look, I'm just gonna play out of instinct. I completely forgot the theory for this. And then I think you go e5, if I'm not mistaken. I'm completely winging it here, so I might I might get blown out of the board on like move 5. I don't remember the theory for this. And that's why I always hate when like no one accepts my Scandinavian and they get into these weird variations because I just don't know what to do. But yeah, this is called the Blackmar Dimer Gambit. And I literally studied it a couple of days before the nationals in Tanzania. And yeah, apparently I don't know how to play it. Now we can takes knight f3, sorry, knight f6. He takes back. Okay. Yeah, let's take the knight. I'm just playing off instinct, guys. I'm just playing off instinct. Let's go here and castle. I've spent way too much time in the opening, so let's hope I can make up for it in the middle game. But I think we've gotten out okay. I don't see, but I remember there was a very forcing line which was winning for black. And I'll have to review it at some point. Let's go here. Ask questions of the bishop. Now we need to open up the position. Since he hasn't castled, our king is safe. His king is still in the middle, so that's going to cause him problems. And what do we do now? I think we go queen e7. I might be getting the theory completely wrong. But let's see. That's the thing about chess. I'm going to get everything right. Now, I have an idea. Let's go here. There's a weak c pawn. So let's go for that. b3, I guess, solves it. But the whole point was to develop the bishop as well. Yeah, which is what he allows us to do. So let's go there. With tempo hitting the queen. Okay, now do we have this? Very weird. Yeah, I think we can play this. Let's try it. Very risky tactic, but let's try it. We do win a piece back. And yeah, I think we're fine. Okay, we don't need to take with the queen there. We can just take with the pawn. And since we have a queen still on the board, we can manage those weaknesses. No, I don't like the position. But I guess knight f5 is not possible due to the bishop on g4. So that's the only thing we literally get away with it. Here takes, queen takes, we take, king takes, he can't castle. Well, actually, he can't even take. It'll be this. So we may win that trade on. Oh yeah, there's the knight. Sorry, I didn't see the knight. Takes. Okay, let's say he starts with a knight. So takes, knight takes. I take with the bishop. But then there's this check, which is really annoying. We go here. Okay, does that. Now that doesn't work because we hit the queen with this tactic. So since we're hitting the queen, he has to react to it. Now let's calculate. Takes. Rook g1 check. King simply slides over. And I think we're okay. Now this, I've gotten a trick after this, so we have to take. There's a trick I have, and that's this. Check. And eventually we'll be able to slide this rook in for another check. Hopefully, if he doesn't see it. Okay. Now we got to take over. Yeah, now let's take over the e file. Bit risky again, bit risky. But in Blitz, you can't play safe. Cannot play safe in Blitz. King h8. And once he creates the battery on the g file, we just play rook g8. And I think we get away with any possible attacks he might have in mind. Now, bear in mind, his queen is still hanging. So the next move he has to play has to do with the queen. And guess what, guys? For once, we are ahead on time. What a miracle. Usually we play so bad and we're always behind on time. So good to see for once we are breaking that curse. Now, what's he going to do in the next move? Let's see. Okay, queen h4? Not what I was expecting, because he blunders the c pawn. Then the king is forced to push to g7. Sorry, g2. Yeah, he blunders the c pawn. Blunders the c pawn. And now let's go check again. And I think, let's calculate this. Let's calculate that. Boom, boom. Okay, let's start with this. Start with this check. Nothing wrong with that. Now, should we offer a queen trade? I don't see anything wrong with offering a queen trade. Should we go this way? No, it doesn't look good. Okay. Yeah, let's go for a queen trade. I don't see anything wrong with a queen trade here. He takes that. That's what I was expecting, actually. Now we can lift the rook, and he won't be able to take here. Yeah, but these are very risky tactics. Let's just try them, though. So here, maybe get a battery, and I think we're okay. Yeah, he takes. Now we can't take with the queen, obviously, due to the fact that the queen is hitting the rook. So let's go here. Now, does that work? I don't know. Okay, we're in a bit of a tight spot here, so we're gonna, let's go here. Since we are slightly ahead on time, we may get away with this endgame. Okay, let's go there. Am I blundering anything? No. Notice how I'm always careful when moving a piece. I'm not trying to blunder anything. Now, he had queen e6. He missed it. And I think best move here is probably to just gain space on the queen side. Just gain space on the queen side. Now, we can just push this in. Block his improvement. This will be a tough endgame, but I think we may get away with a win. Let's see. We check him. Now, do we need to react to that? Takes. Yeah, it looks like a draw. How can I turn it into a win, though? Okay, let's just go for it. Feel like it's the only line. Takes. And where should we go now? Let's go here. Let's go here. And let's just protect everything. We're ahead on time, so let me focus now. Takes. There we go here. Hope we haven't blundered anything here. Okay, what was that? Let's go there. And we can just promote. And this will be an easy win. It's the quickest way. Let's go there. And checkmate. All right. Now, I think he mouse slipped at some point, but guys, this is business, sport. We show no mercy. So if it was a game with no stakes, I would have probably let him off with that. But assuming he mouse slipped, since it's a high stakes game, I couldn't let him off. Now, let's say he took, right? Which is probably what he wanted to do. Pawn takes, king goes here. We can't save the pawn, but we can advance our king. Yeah, that looked like a draw. That looked like a draw. He would have gone after this pawn. So I guess it would have been a scenario where I get rid of this pawn, he gets rid of this pawn. He promotes this pawn, and I promote this pawn. So it would have just been a race, and I think it would have led to like a queen versus queen, basically a draw. Or maybe one of us would have won that race. Anyway, very interesting game. Next game, game number 3, I think. Let's see, who do we have now? Should we play the bird again, or should we play the English? What's our opponent's rating, by the way? 1200 ish. They're not giving me any more 1000s. Like, all right, f4, knight f3. Okay, so this will be like almost like a Nimzo Indian type game. Never mind, he's played bishop d7, so he's not going to allow the doubled pawns. Let's go bishop. And I think, is knight a5 here good, or should we just castle? So knight a3 or knight c3? Knight c3, can push, we take, he takes. Hold on. C3, first, takes, and takes. We win a pawn there. No, but then queen takes at the end of that line. That doesn't work. Okay. What should we do? Should we just develop, or? Okay. Yeah, knight c3 makes sense right now. Knight c3 makes sense. And let's castle. Okay, now d4 takes. No, it doesn't work. Okay, let's bring our bishop back. Let's bring our bishop back. And we got to increase our speed of play. We are 1 minute behind on the clock as usual. Let's take. He takes back, and then knight b4. Sorry, knight b5. Okay, never mind. He does that. Now we can take the knight. Or should we just go here and go after his bishop here? No, we got to take the knight, otherwise he takes our bishop here. And I think this works. He has to give up the bishop now, I think. Otherwise, I'll win this pawn for free. Yeah. So we've gotten a bishop here. Let's see if we can make it count. Now, whenever you have a bishop there, make sure you try to open up the position, and hopefully you can carve out some sort of win. Let's go bishop here. Maybe queen e1, queen f2, putting pressure on the pawn, but I might walk into yeah, this pin, and the king is still in the same diagonal as that bishop, so that will be a bit risky. Bit too risky for my liking. Now where else can we go? Yeah, he goes for that line straight away. Now, just so that we get away from these headaches, let's just play king h1 right now and avoid all those problems altogether. Queen f3 now looks like a good move. When I was analyzing this, one of the bird games recently, that seemed like a very commonsensical move. Interestingly, we also have queen h5. Let's try that. Because it does hit these pieces as well. If he plays g6, which he does, then we can simply go to queen f3. Now, knight b4 is very strong, in which case we may have to give up our bishop. Okay, queen h4. Could go here straight away. That may stop a couple of things. Yeah, let's go a3 now. Just to deprive the knight of this b4 square. And next, maybe we can do b4. This pawn is perfectly defended, so I'm not worried about it. Also, I need to stop talking. We're behind on time. Now, by the way, I never used to like this bird's opening because I always felt like it was already refuted. I think the best defense is the horsefly defense. And I'll make a video on the bird in detail at some point, and I'll show you guys what that looks like. Anyway, let's bring our rook in the middle. So nowadays I've found it's quite strong. So I've been employing it quite a lot in my games. Especially in Blitz. A5, okay. Makes sense. Stops b4. Good move. Okay, now let's start putting pressure on these pieces. Let's go there. And just harass his rooks. Now, does this make sense? C4 now, does it make sense? Just to kick the knight away. But then the knight will reroute. I don't like that. Let's go here. C4 now would make sense. Before C4 didn't make sense due to the fact that it would have been locked out of the... It would have been blocked by the C pawn. So it would have been locked on the B5 square, which I don't like. Now, the only positional weakness we really have is the fact that this bishop and this pawn kind of stopping all of our plans. Now, let's calculate. What are we supposed to do here? Okay. Let me see. Okay. I think I have a plan. And I say think. Let's go c3. Let's just open up the diagonal, and maybe chances will arise from that. Take, he takes, we take here. And I think we may have this at some point. Yeah, okay, let's try that. I think it's the only line that really works right now. So now we're attacking this pawn, b5. Sorry, a5. And let's see. Okay, that's a strong move, actually. But it does blunder this pawn. All right, let's take the pawn, and let's see what he can come up with. He takes there, I expected. Now, I think we should get rid of this knight. I think we should get rid of this knight. We can get rid of this knight by going bishop c4. We're behind on time again, and I'm yapping again, so I gotta play fast. Rooks are connected, so I'm not worried about the queen on h5. Sorry, h4. In fact, it looks kind of silly right now. Now, what should we do? Should we take, or should we just keep the bishop? Okay, it's a bit tricky here. I feel like we should take. No. Let's take the horse. Takes. Okay. Let's go here. Let's go here. I just have a feeling this is the better move. Sometimes you just got to play off intuition. Just have a feeling that that's the better move. Now the knight is hanging. He won't be able to take because of, okay, no, this doesn't work. The queen will take back. Never mind. So here he's got to make a decision. We've got to play fast now. 30 seconds on the clock. Yeah, he takes. Do we take back with a queen or the pawn now? I think let's take back with a pawn. No, but yeah, let's take back with a pawn. Let's take back with a pawn. Maybe we can now trap this bishop. Let's see if he sees it. Okay, he sees it. Good. Let's go ahead. Could have also gone queen c6. Okay, he's doing well. Oh my days, that's a strong move. Now we can't take because of mate in one. So let's go here. That was a very strong move, actually. Now we have 17 seconds. Come on, stop talking. Stop yapping. Let's go. Okay, so he just played a bit slow, but I think he had a better position. I think he had a much better position. We had some tactics, which I think I may have missed, but I was waiting for him to trade. Once he traded this, and sorry, what was the position? Yeah, it was here. So let's say here he would have gone rook takes, rook takes. In the next move, we would have had queen a8, which may have changed the game completely. Because now he won't be able to recover. He goes with the rook, we just take. And we win the rook. And he won't be able to bring the queen back due to the fact that the bishop and the queen will not be connected because of this rook. So we had some winning tactics there. Let's go back. Yeah, very strong player. Very strong player, actually. And let's see, where did we necessarily go wrong? So yeah, let's go to analysis, and I'll explain a couple of key things before we get to our next game. Here's what you need to understand. Giving up a bishop pair or maintaining a bishop pair is one of the simplest ideas, and I've explained this literally a million times. So whenever you're faced with a choice of trading, so here, for example, both kings have castled, and very soon black is going to play a6, and this is going to ask questions of this bishop. Now, you're then brought to a crossroads or a juncture where you've got to decide, are you going to give up the bishop pair? He's not going to take with a pawn because that damages his structure. He's going to take with a bishop. But seeing that the game is about to open up, this is a type of opening where you're probably going to get an open game. It's much more practical to keep the bishop pair, and that makes your life a lot easier than not having one. Now, I think we'd led him to a position here. Okay, that's a blunder. Did you guys see how the bar just shifted? So here, takes. How is this a blunder? Am I missing something? Okay, so takes, not sure what. Okay, so d3, bishop captures d3, bishop captures b5. Ah, okay. So there's a tactic we missed there that I'm seeing on this engine line. And it's all to do with the fact that, okay, that was a very strong move. Ish. So there's this takes, he takes, I take, and then there's queen b6 check. Incredible move. And this would have ended the game literally on the spot. And that just goes to show you. I guess this is why I didn't like the bird's opening in the past. The problem with the bird is that it weakens this diagonal straight away from the opening. And that can put your king in line of tactics, in the line of fire of tactics. So we missed a very strong line there that would have probably lost us the game. Now that takes, and we recover after this. You can see the bar still going up. d3 doesn't work now because bishop takes and queen b6 check is no longer effective. Anyway, interesting. This is why you analyze, guys. That's how you improve. Anyway, we finally got our king out of the dangerous diagonal, therefore putting us at less of a risk of getting or walking into tactics. Queen f3, and I think up until now we're okay. Now, yeah, so at this stage I was struggling to find an idea, and whenever you struggle to find an idea, look at your pawns and ask yourself, can one of my pawns open the position, or can it unlock something that I'm not seeing? Because usually your pieces are perfectly placed and they don't really have much. They don't have much activity or much potential. You find that they're already in the correct squares. The queen is in the right square. Bishop is in an active square. This bishop, perfect square, with the exception of this pawn, of course. So the only other option is to activate one of your pawns, and this gives you much better chances in terms of activating your pieces. Now, the rest is history. Be careful here. Don't just take when your opponent is enticing you to take, because it might lead to checkmate. Sorry, with the queen taking if we take. So always think defensively, especially in the middle game. We take back. I think we're still okay. Yeah, I think we're fine. Now here it's all white, which means there's a tactic. Yeah, queen a8 check. Queen a8 check is the winning move. Yeah, okay. So then there, and then we take. Okay. Yeah, I had a sense queen a8 was a move there, but I was under time pressure and I couldn't really come up with the best move. All right, let's go. Next game. What are we going to get? I think this could be our last game. Let's see if we can continue our streak. Guy from Poland. He aborted the game. Okay. That's good because I'm always scared of chess players from Poland. Now, next game, another guy from Poland? Are you kidding me? Yeah, all right. Let's see how we do. Now, okay, he goes for this line. We advance. I think we've had this in the speedrun before. There we can take. Or should we just develop? I don't remember what the correct move is here. If we develop, he takes the pawn. But we do get an active position. Yeah, let's just go bishop f4, bishop f5. That might be a mistake. Now we can take. Now we do have a lot of weaknesses on the king side. Now let's go here. Hit the bishop. We can claim the bishop here now, but I'm not rushing into it. Could actually do it now. But first, let's go knight b d7. Sorry, knight g b7. Knight g e7. I don't know why I'm getting my annotations mixed up. Now takes, we hit that bishop e7, and now I think we can risk taking. Now I think we can risk it. First though, let's castle, and then we'll take the bishop pair in the next move, which is what he allows us to do. All right. Takes back, and I think, let's go here. That does help his bishop develop, which I don't like, but hey. You can't like everything in life. Now let's go rook c8. Hopefully now, let's move the bishop back. Now we need to open up the position, but we need to be very careful about how we do it because his pieces are very well placed and we may walk into traps. Let's go here, advance. The more we open up the position, the better for us. Let's see. I do want to play h6. Yeah. Good structure. Good structure. Should put him in green. Good structure. Good structure. And the reason being is they put us in less of a risk of getting mated in the end game. Now, before I think is a mistake because we can c3. So let's go queen c7 and hit that pawn straight away. Okay, now if it wasn't for this annoying knight, okay, it still wouldn't be possible. Would have had this, but then this. All right, now, this guy is very strong, so I've got to play a bit faster. What's the move? What's the big idea? Let's go queen c4. No, I feel like that doesn't do anything. Okay, let's go queen a7. And I'm just going to wait to see what his plan is. Let's go queen a7. Let's go queen a7. Since our main tactics are going to be, okay. I think he's planning some tactics. Excuse me. Okay, rook c7 I think stops all that. So he's planning like some sort of a discovery, but it's not going to work now. Because we can just take in peace without worrying about this. If it takes, we just take back afterwards. Now, since most of the battle is going to be on the C file, we want to route our rooks to the C file. So let's go here. And let's bring as many pieces to that C file as possible. Now, there's a tactic here. Let's go there. I said he's put in as if that's even a word. He's put all of his major pieces on the dark square, so we may have a tactic in a moment. Okay, maybe not. Let's just be patient with those moves. He's doing very well, though. Very well. Let's go queen's b6. Goes there. Okay. You can simply go here. Nothing crazy. Now, I think he's made a mistake. Huge mistake. Boom. Now we get our chance. He's walked his king onto the pin. And now we get a rook, and it's game over. Now, we can literally start trading. Do we need to trade this knight? All trades favor us right now. So I think let's take. The bishop isn't doing anything. And now let's go here. And we're going to try to invade now. We're going to try to invade. Okay, you can just take. You don't want to allow him to open up that line. Now, here's a huge mistake because it blunders queen b6. Instead, let's go this way. Let's go this way. Let's go this way. If he okay, he does that. All right, we're going to use that pawn as an umbrella. So I'm going to go here. Taking would be bad because we open up the H file. And that's not something I want to do. Let's challenge the queen. Okay, oh, we can check. There is this too. And let's see what he does. Now we're winning here, but he still has a few chances, so we can't get too excited or too arrogant. We must keep our cool and composure and find the right way to execute this win. Okay, king moves. He just blunders a rook. That makes our life slightly easier. He goes there. Okay. And I missed that. How did I miss that? So all of a sudden we may have to blunder a queen. We have to give up a queen. No, we don't, actually. Can just go here. But that will still give up a lot of material. Let's go here. May still give up a lot of material. Good thing is, though, we had 2 rooks on the board. And here, mate doesn't work. The rook is not disconnected from recapturing on g7. Rook is not disconnected. So we still have some winning chances. We're on 50 seconds. That's the only drawback. Again, because I like to yap too much. Takes, we take. He checks me. I go here. He takes the pawn. King g6. Let's go. Now we have a very fun ending. Let's go there. Take this pawn. Create more chances. And let's go here. Okay, you can just move, no problem. The knight is hanging. Okay. Now let's go this way. Hit that pawn. Check. We move. We have to be careful about where we moved. We would have been in trouble if we moved to the wrong square. Check. Move the king away. And let's move here. Hitting the pony. And I think we are winning after check. I think we're winning after check. And here. And we've won. He's not going to be able to catch the pawns. There's just too many of them. Okay. Very strong. I almost blundered somewhere. Story of my life when it comes to chess. Okay. GG. Again, not cleanly executed. Now, this is the thing you need to understand, and I'm going to leave you guys with this. You have to understand different countries have different rating systems. Okay, not different rating systems, but different rating quality. I think that's a better way to phrase it. So you find, for example, players from India, where it's, oh, we have one brilliant. Players from India, where there's a lot of chess players and it's very, very competitive. A 1600 in India is not the same as a 1600 in, I don't know, Tanzania. You find that maybe they're like a 2000 in Tanzania. But in India, they're like 1600. So you find they're extremely strong, but their rating, due to the fact that it's so saturated in India, it's very hard for them to climb up the ratings and get titled. So Poland is also one of those countries. They have a very strong culture on chess. However, do not think or do not assume that when you're playing at 1200 from Poland, it's the same as a 1200 from your federation. That's usually not the case. Now, that being said, let's start reviewing. And I hope, let's just see if this coach is always talking over me. Anyway, he advanced. Yeah, we go there. And I think, yeah, that was a mistake. I was supposed to take the pawn. I've analyzed this line with engines before. I was supposed to take the pawn there, but I always forget. Now we take e6, and we have a slightly good position. That was a great move. He just gives up a bishop, and it's already a great move. All right. Now, I didn't realize, by the way, at this point, I already had a bishop. I don't know why I was so hell-bent on going after the dark squared bishop. Now we take it. I've explained this move before. This is called a redeployment move. Now, you might say you could just go g6. Yes, but I also like annoying my opponents. So we can play bishop d3. He moves the rook, and then we can move our bishop back whenever we want, such as now. Now, why are redeployment moves good? They're good because sometimes they provoke weaknesses on your opponent's side. So by us moving the rook to the e file, you might say, I mean, it's a good thing for white. Well, not really. White at some point maybe wants to push the f pawn, but if the rook is not placed on f1, this helps us weaken that plan and slows down his attack. So once the bishop has done its job, you just move it back. Sometimes they also allow you to place positions in much better squares. Sorry, place pieces in much better squares and so on. So remember that term, redeployment moves. B5. Here, yeah, we're slightly squeezing him into a bad position. Queen c7. Computer says just put a rook on the outpost. How would that have looked like? Let's see. Okay, that would have been better, I guess. Most definitely. And then maybe bring the queen here and the other rook, in which case you create what's called a Alekhine's gun. Alekhine's gun is basically when you have, or an Alekhine structure is when you have the rook, queen, and the other rook, or both rooks and the queen, I should say, on the same line. Now, queen c7, queen a7, just playing waiting moves. Now, here there's a tactic. Queen is undefended, so therefore he has this. And let's say I just play a random move. So, for example, let's say I just do this. Just an example. This is a strong. Okay, never mind. I thought that would be a strong move. How is that a blunder? So, okay. Takes. Oh, right. He would have to recapture the queen, in which case I have time to go after the rook. Okay, never mind, guys. I'm talking rubbish. So it wasn't even a threat. This just goes to show you sometimes where, and one of my coaches told me this. He said, you're so worried about defending, you forget that the best form of defense is attack. And this is one such scenario where you're scared of ghosts or you're scared of tactics that aren't there. And the optical illusions force you into making moves that slow down your momentum or initiative in the game. Anyway, bishop g6. I think here we're fine. Yeah. So here straight away he made a blunder. This is the decisive move in the game. There was no need to move the king up. The reason why we couldn't play this move before is because of the knight. But the moment you paralyze the knight by putting him on a pin, this changes everything. This changes everything. And so now, because of that pin, moving the bishop to g4 is a really strong idea. So that changed the game completely. And then we take the rook, and it's game over from here. We now just have to convert. Now, trading is in your favor. This bishop has done its job, and trading is now in your favor. Now takes. We've got to bring our queen back. Now, this is what you need to realize. Taking the pawn here is bad. It's very risky because you open the h file and you give white chances to come back into the game. Why do that? Why make your opponent's life easier? Just stop that whole process from happening in the first place. And there is queen takes. Oh my god. Okay, I missed this tactic. There's a pin. I need to start studying puzzles again. There's a pin. I could have just taken a knight. You can't take back because of that pin. So this would have been completely winning after this. Yeah. He would have had no chance of coming back after this. Anyway. So I need to work on my sharpness for tactics. Here we take. After this is still winning. We have too many pawns. And rook versus knight is rarely winning for the side that has the knight. Unless the position is like super particular. Now, I'm going to have to conclude today's speedrun, guys. I think we've done about 5 games, 5 wins. And we're getting into the intermediate level of Blitz chess. Now, if you're new, I hope you enjoyed, and subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments about anything you learned, anything I missed. Probably missed a million things in those games. And thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you in the next video.